I see misogyny show up in a lot of places that I did not anticipate when I started expressing my gender
and
identity.
I didn't know it could show up in women as well.
Oh, yeah.
David Lopez, you're not gender fluid. No, you're not. David, you're not. You're just ultra and painfully stupid. You see, it's very dangerous to tell children that they can't make it. It's very demoralizing. And I know firsthand what that can do to a young mind. But it's equally dangerous, it would seem, to tell young people that you can be anything you want to be, because that's how you end up with the likes of Mulvaney. This dude is on my radar again. He just can't stay out of the news, it would seem. This annoying caricature of a woman whose main goal in life is to reduce womanhood to dresses, wigs, and makeup. Yeah, that person. He's in the news again for all the wrong reasons. His delusion just keeps getting worse. Like, it just keeps getting worse with each passing day as his 8 million TikTok followers cheer him on his pathway to, as he progresses on his pathway to destruction. As always, Dylan is showing women the true meaning of femininity. Yeah, in case they didn't know, Dylan is the beacon of light to other women, explaining what femininity means to them. While some emasculated white men are begging women to forgive them for all the evils of patriarchy, this emasculated man is showing women the new form of evil demented men can inflict on women, and this time it is more mental and insulting than it is physical. It's a sick game, and Dylan is crushing it with a cute smile and sexy dresses. And in case you don't know who Dylan is, in case, you're unaware, let me introduce you. He, Dylan, is the most successful girl in the whole United States. Forget Kylie Jenner. No, forget Kylie Jenner. Dylan is the new sensation. I mean, he's so successful that after 2 weeks of claiming to be a girl, he was offered a Tampax feminine hygiene partnership. I mean, he was asked to be the ambassador for a product he would never use until his dying day. Just think about it. But that's not all. Recently, which I covered in a previous video, Dylan was a keynote speaker at the Forbes Women Power Summit. Yeah. And just a few days ago, to add insult to injury, Ultra Beauty, one of the largest cosmetic retailers in the United States, featured an interview with the golden boy of the LGBTQ alphabet soup community, Dylan. Yeah. And in this interview, gender fluid hairstylist David Lopez, with his wig and full-grown beard, sat down with Dylan, whose Adam's apple betrays his proclaimed gender identity. The two of them discussed the beauty of girlhood. Oh, yes. I am sure girlhood is beautiful when you reduce it to mere appearances, right? And in the clip posted by Ultra Beauty on their Twitter page to promote the full-length interview on YouTube, Dylan expressed one of his greatest desires. It turns out Dylan wants to be a mother. Just watch.
Now I know I can find love. I know I can still be a performer. I know that I can have a family. I want to be a mom one day. And I absolutely can. And that's why the narrative still has a long way to go, because when I was grieving boy Dylan, I didn't know those things were even accessible to me.
Well, right now, this dude is getting a lot of hate for this video and for the interview as a whole. And I'm sure he just can't understand why these crazy women, why would they be tolerating and accepting of this innocent, happy, repulsive representation of womanhood, right? Listen, Dylan, let me try and break it down for you. You can't. Dylan, you can't be a mother. And that is the gospel truth. You can't have ovaries. Your body can't carry a child for 9 months. And that's just the truth. But beyond just physical biology, Dylan, you can't understand the bliss, the love and connection that mothers have with the children they raise as their own. You can't offer motherly love to any human being. You can't. And just because Ultra Beauty have chosen to exploit you for virtue signaling purposes, that doesn't mean nature will suddenly bend to the demands of your delusion. And I know you have a cute smile and a kind demeanor. And actually, your TikTok account holds the cure for a depressing day when I desire the comic relief that can only come from watching crazy people live out their wildest imagination. But Dylan, you should understand that your lifestyle is a huge insult. A huge insult to actual women. Most of these women, actual women in every sense of the word, they find what you do offensive, and rightfully so. See, when Beyonce referred to her late uncle as her godmother, that was just a gimmick to get trans people to buy her album. And with the way Renaissance became an epic failure, I'm sure she wouldn't go this woke again in what is left of her musical career. So see, Dylan, my sweet boy, My sweet boy Dylan, there are things that you just can't be or feel or understand. You can't fully understand how women think, even if you hang out with them all day and play with their makeup kit. You can't feel like a woman, even though you choose to express emotion the way women do. See, showing emotion is not the same thing as having certain emotions. It's not. And boy, you can't. Listen, boy, you can't have the emotion of a woman. You can't feel the wave of confusing emotion that women experience when they menstruate. You can't feel menstrual cramps. You can't see. I know there are simulators, but I've been told that they don't do justice to the pain that women go through when they menstruate. And you can never experience menstruation. Think about that. And lastly, Dylan, you can't be a woman because being a woman is a natural state determined primarily by biology. You can never have an excess chromosome, my boy. You can't. The best you can get is bottom surgery and a lifetime of being a patient to a wicked doctor who will exploit you for the damage you've done to yourself if you choose to chop off your male parts. See, you're just being delusional. And I know it makes you happy. I'm sure at this point in your life you feel this is the happiest you have ever been. But it's only temporary. It is only temporary. And when the permanent reality begins to set in, you're definitely going to regret certain things you will do within this period. I promise you. Now, in my opinion, the whole interview from Ultra Beauty is just a complete sham. Like a complete sham. Trailing from one degree of insanity and truth denial to another. But the most disgusting part of this interview, the part I find really repulsive, was when these stupid men dared to call most women misogynists for having issues with their ridiculous lifestyle. I mean, just watch.
That's where we shouldn't shame people also about liking feminine. Like, I think in womanhood, I get shamed a lot for liking pink and, glitter. And I'm like, why does that bother you so much? Like, why? Like, I think
misogyny,
they
patriarchy.
think that I'm sort of like lowering their standard, their class as a woman, when really I'm just trying to be happy. Yeah.
I see, and I'm sure you see this too, I see misogyny show up in a lot of places that I did not anticipate when I started expressing my gender
and
identity.
I didn't know it could show up in women as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I think it always hurts the most when it comes from my own side of the tracks. But God, the girls that get it, and the ones that don't.
Yeah.
But to the ones that don't, what am I doing to hurt you, babe? Please, why can't we be friends? I really want us to all be on this.
David Lopez, you're not gender fluid. No, you're not. David, you're not. You're just ultra and painfully stupid. To think your gender is a fluid that you can fit into any bottle simply because you find yourself playing with girl shoes and handbags. I mean, so you think being a woman is a costume you can wear on Monday and discard on Tuesday? I won't blame you. No, I won't blame you. I blame the idiots, the complete idiots and buffoon at Ultra Beauty who thought this was a good idea. And shame on you. Shame on you, Ultra Beauty. Shame on you for this cheap publicity stunt. And I hope more women boycott every one of your product and make an example out of you for this disgraceful thing. See, I don't believe in cancel culture, but this is one of those rare moments where I become a believer, because how can you insult your customers and still expect them to give you their money? No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. And I hope they don't.